Sige,
okay. Good afternoon po. Ako po si Samuel A. Silvestre. Isa pong second year student sa UP College of Music. Ang aking kurso ay AA, Piano Performance. At ito po si Ma'am.
Ako po si Professor Mita Antonia Fernandez. Ako po ay nag-graduate ng piano performance ng Bachelor of Music sa UP College of Music. And then I went on to study also piano pedagogy for my master's sa Philippine Women's University. So I've been a teacher in UP since 1990. And para po sa kaalaman ng lahat, si Sam po ay ang aking estudyante sa piano. So, yun.
Okay.
Good afternoon, everyone.
Okay, ma'am. Kamusta? Una sa lahat, ma'am, kamusta po kayo ngayong pandemic? Kamusta po ang kalagayan dyan?
I am very well. So I just had my second dose of the vaccination, Sinovac, last Saturday. So, okay naman ako. So, I guess everyone should look at the situation in a more positive light na kahit mabagal, unti-unti naman tayong lahat ay nababakunahan na. So, hopefully, soon we will go actually back to our normal ways. So, yun.
Okay, ma'am. Ang piano naman, ma'am, pagturo naman ng piano online, kamusta naman siya?
So, syempre, ang ating major ay piano. And I guess it holds true also for other instruments. So, ano ba yung problems of online piano teaching? So, ulitin ko ulit, internet connection. Okay, yan yung lag time. Tapos na yung kamay, pero may naririnig ka pa na tumutunog. Yung parang, o hindi sabay yung pinipipa sa keys as against dun sa naririnig mo. Palaging nangyayari yun. Yun ang parang nakakagigil. Alam mo yun, parang iba yung nakikita mo, pero alam mo iba yung tunog. So, kaya yun ang mas malala yung tapos na, pero may tunog pa rin. Diba? Inalis na yung kamay sa piano, may tunog pa rin. Okay, okay. Isa pang problem would be students with no piano sa bahay nila.
Oo nga, ma'am. Paano nga kung electronic keyboards
as alternative, di ba? Tapos kung may piano naman sila, out of tune man. Okay? So tapos siyempre ang pedal non-existent na. So isipin mo ngayon, paano ko ba tuturuan ito ng... But anyway, yun muna yung mga problema. No? So yung teaching and learning experience is lessened actually. Bakit? Kasi responses are delayed. Before I can hear you, may oras na nauubos na nasasayang. Huh? So, responses are delayed. Okay. So, yung nuances sa piano, alam natin to. It cannot be heard because of audio problems. No actual demonstration is taking place. So, yung mga hand positions, ano ba ang posisyon ng wrist, ano ba yung arm rotation na yan, ganyan. Napakahirap yan i-check pagka online. Dahil paminsan-minsan, visually naman, slow-mo ang napapanood mo. Kasi estudyante mo, bakit parang pabagal ang kamay nito? So, again, yun nga, walang actual demonstration from the teacher and for the student to see the actual thing. So, however, I don't know if it's a problem, no? But I think it's basically an adjustment on our end as teachers. No? We give you the most that we can, but of course, repertoire requirements are at a minimum. So, like for instance, dapat may piano concerto ka. Hindi ka muna magpa-piano concerto kasi hindi ba paano? Wala ka naman kumpanista. Yung teacher mo na tumutugtog usually for you ay hindi mo naman kasama. No? So, yun. So, anong gagawin namin? I-revise namin siyempre yung repertoire requirements as to just you playing a solo recital. So, yun, mga ganun. Okay? Another thing would be pianists missing out on actual performance, missing out on the actual performance experience with an audience present. So whether it be a solo performance, chamber, or with orchestra, yun, no audience present, which is very sad. Diba? Because you want to share your music. You want to let people know, oh, this is my take on my music. Diba? So kung wala kang audience, tapos parang online lang, nalimutan ka ng paano pa yun, diba? O yung host mo, yung ganyan, o yung co-host mo, gano'n. Hindi katulad ng actual performance na nandun sila. And then you get inspired seeing your audience, no? You get to appreciate them more. Why? Because they took time out. They went out of their way to see you. No? See, it's the sharing of your long hours, the result of the long hours practice. So, wala yung ganon. No? And of course, the applause, wala yung ganon. Diba? Okay, ito yung home setup. Ito na yon, yung home environment. So, nandyan yung tumatahol na aso, nandyan yung tricycle na dumadaan, merong family members being in the same place, lakad ng lakad sa likod, o merong ongoing construction. Okay. And of course, other distractions. So yun. Yun ang medyo parang sana mabago. Okay. So ano ngayon yung positive ng lahat ng ito? Dahil parang kung pag diniscuss mo yun, parang napakasalimuot at napakahirap ng sitwasyon natin. No? But there are positives to it. One is we learn to develop resilience. We learn to develop patience. We learn to develop diligence. We learn discipline. Hindi madaling mag-aral ng mga pyesa o ng mga repertoire na tayo ay nasa setup ng bahay. Kasi iba yung experience mo na nagpa-practice ka sa bahay, iba yung experience mo na ikaw ay nasa classroom kasama ang teacher mong tumutugtog. Iba yung experience mo na ikaw ay nagpa-piano exam, ikaw na may panel, iba yung experience mo na ikaw ay nagre-recital, no? So in all of that, yun, it's the resilience, the patience, the diligence, and the discipline. So, one thing sometimes that I get to admire with my students is they get, nakikita mo sa kanila na kahit ang hirap ng sitwasyon, they have this love of music and love for the instrument. Very evident yun. Diba? Sino ba naman who would stay for long hours in the piano? Na practicing day in, day out, day in, day out. Tapos ganito pa yung sitwasyon natin. Minsan wala sigurong outlet yung estudyante. No? I mean, piano playing can be an outlet, but hindi lang naman yun. No? So, the love of music and the love for the instrument is there. No? Okay, we get also to appreciate more our little successes. Diba? memorize ko na ang back. Memorize ko ng ano. Ay, ang cool pala, ang chill pala nitong pyesa ko. Ganyan, ganyan. You know, we discover a lot of things. Okay, we learn to have a positive outlook. Minsan kahit gaano kahirap, tinatawanan na lang natin. Okay?
Opo, ma'am.
And kailangan magkaroon tayo ng positive outlook, di ba? Not having to question, is there a future to what we are doing? To, you know, again, it's just for the love of music and the instrument. So yung na-mention ko din kanina na unang problema na tinanong mo na anong difference ng keyboard. Pag keyboard ang gamit at ang piano, well, syempre malaking diferensya yun, no? So one major difference are of course the keys, no? The piano keys are heavier because they carry the weight of the hammers. No? For piano, sound is produced and amplified physically, whereas of course in electronic keyboard uses electricity. No? So the pressure that you apply to the piano keys, of course, affects the dynamics and the musicality. For electronic keyboard, dynamics are just simply based on volume control, no? And not on the weight of the arm, the fingers, the hand. Plus the fact that the electronic keyboard does not have the dynamic range of the piano. It can only be loud up to a certain extent. No? So a well-conditioned piano is capable of a touch-sensitive response, no? Whereas the keyboard, though it claims to be touch-sensitive, has either too quick a response action because of the keys being too soft, or it produces a delayed response due to sticking of the keys. Okay, I have one student, di naman niya mapagawa yung keyboard niya, pero siguro out of 20 notes or 20 keys, ang gumagana na lamang ay 8.
Palagay mo ba nag-i-improve pa yung mga estudyante ngayong online?
Actually, okay. Ang very evident talaga sa amin na nag-improve ay yung mga piano minors and keyboard concentration students. No? Parang all of a sudden, they were playing so well. No? Maybe because, of course, pag ikaw ay nasa bahay, you have all the time in the world na to practice. No? That's one. Secondly, there is that willingness, no, to cope with the present situation. No? But the downside to that is, of course, parang medyo hindi naman masyadong magandang pag-usapan, pero meron din mga estudyante who actually took advantage of the situation. No, wherein, of course, you don't know whether they're telling you the truth or not. You know, they sometimes they would disappear, and you know how students are. Tipo bang parang, okay, so my teacher is giving me more than an hour lesson, so I have to disappear. Yung mga ganon. Meron very, very few cases naman na ganon. Okay, but but basically yon, it's the willingness to cope and somehow try new things. Kasi yun nga tali naman ang kamay natin, wala tayong magagawa. So dun sa question na, did the students improve or are the students improving? I would say yes. Okay. And you can see naman that they try their very best. Sure kaming mga teachers doon. But like I said, since the situation is actually very limiting, adjustments have to be made, no? So one evident example would be, of course, we give a minimum, the barest minimum requirements as far as repertoire is concerned. No? So, of course, as a teacher, we ano ba yan? Ginagawa din namin yung, kumbaga, we adapt yung minimum expectation. Huh? Kasi hindi mo naman pwedeng ipagkaila na talagang kung may problema yung bata, kanya-kanyang coping mechanism naman yan eh. Eh kung nakakope ang bata, o di syempre you expect more. Pero kung may pinagdadaanan ng bata, anong i-expect mo? Hindi ba? I mean, you just hope for the best, di ba? So, another very evident, one thing evident na experiences in performances becomes very, very different. Again, depende sa estudyante kung paano siya magre-react dun sa experience na yon. Siyempre, kulang na kulang yun. No? So, in lieu of the face-to-face performance in front of a panel or in front of an audience, the student just has to simply submit a video. So, tapos piece per piece pa. So, yung
minsan,
endurance
ma'am, diba,
level
movement
ng estudyante,
per movement pa.
Or per movement pa, di ba? Kasi, oo nga naman, we try to be very realistic about it. Di ba? So, yun ang simpleng pag-uusap, minsan napuputol pa eh, di ba? Na minsan nakakalimang sentence ka pa lang, wala ka nang kausap. So, paano pa kung, you know, if you have an hour, more than an hour of repertoire. No? So again, we give the barest minimum repertoire, expectations. You know, all of a sudden we become more sensitive in a way. No? Sensitive na you empathize with the student. I mean, not everything in life is about piano. No? Lahat naman naka-stand still sa mga panahon na to. Again, another downside is like sa face-to-face kasi, ang performance mo is a one-time thing. No? It's temporal. Pag video, pwedeng ilang takes ka until you're satisfied with that video. No? Pero yun, from time to time, the piano department faculty would meet, you know, and we agree with giving only this much of a requirement and, you know, keeping it to a minimum.
Ma'am, may makakabigay ka ba ng advice para sa mga estudyante at mga teachers para sa online setting? In general, ma'am. Hindi naman kailangan about piano, ma'am. Kumbaga, paano mo?
Sa akin kasi ang paniwala ko, ganito yan eh. You know, I will always use the cliche. If life gives you lemons, then make lemonade. Now, if you'd like to make orange juice, that is also okay. Pero siguro wag nating kalilimutan na sa mga ganitong pagkakataon, hindi natin pwedeng ipili kung ano yung gusto natin. Halimbawa, mataas ang standard ko sa ganito. If it is not met, alam nga naman magagalit ako sa estudyante at manggigigil ako, di ba? Hindi ko pwedeng gawin yun. Dahil kung ano yung pinagdadaanan niya, hindi ko alam. Or pwedeng alam ko. Pero magkaiba kami ng take dun sa sitwasyon. I might just simply, you know, I can be insensitive as to say, hindi, ano lang yan, ganito lang yan. Pero hindi ganun yun eh. So, I guess both for student and teacher, you just simply have to put yourself in another person's shoes. No? So, no judgments, no nothing. Magtulungan, no? Kung merong hindi naiintindihan, ang estudyante magtanong, ang teacher naman, siguro habaan ng pasensya at huwag ma-frustrate, no? Huwag magagalit.
Okay, Ma'am Mita, maraming salamat po sa very informative na interview. Thank you for taking time out of your life to answer my group's questions and some of my own questions about piano and music and online learning in general. Ma'am, may closing remarks po ba kayo para sa mga manonood natin?
Sige. Parang ganito yan. Ako ay nagpapasalamat na nabigyan naman ako ng opportunity din to give my 2 cents worth on the situations. No? Nagpapasalamat ako na dahil sa interview na to ay nabigyan din ako ng pagkakataon to impart yung aking experiences, ano ang aking kuro-kuro sa mga bagay-bagay. And hopefully, of course, it will somehow, kahit papano, makatulong sa mga estudyante. Siguro, sa simula, kailangan natin makita kung ano yung maganda. Palagi. Magpasalamat tayo ay nakakapag-aral pa. Okay? Magpapasalamat tayo sa kung ano ang meron tayo. We need also to look forward, no? Na hindi rin naman to forever na ganito, no? Ito ay matatapos din. We should always keep an open mind, no? Na kailangan na-absorb natin ang lahat ng pwede nating matutunan, no? With this exercise, with this pandemic. No? Always look for the good. Ito lagi ko itong sinasabi sa iyo, Sam. Pag ikaw ay walang solusyon sa iyong problema, hindi problema yon. Dahil lahat ng problema may solusyon. Diba? So pagka wala, tomorrow's another day. No? So ikaw ay magdadasal kung ikaw ay naguguluhan, to give you that peace of mind. Lahat ng musiko kailangan panatag ang kalooban. No? Kasi hindi mo ma-appreciate minsan yung beauty sa paligid mo o yung kagandahan ng musika. Kung hindi ko sinasabing perfect na taon, pero dapat ikaw ay marunong makiramdam. Yun. At mga bagay lilipas yun. So, it's not being religious or anything, but, you know, tama yung sinabi ni Mother Teresa of Avila. Ang sabi niya, all things pass. Diba? All things change. Only God remains. So, yun. You have to look at things in a more positive light. Sa kahit ano pang gagawin mo, keso magpiano ka, keso kung ano pang kurso ang kuhain. Lahat sa buhay, dapat ganun. Okay? And be grateful for it. Sayang, kasi, di ba, parang, enjoy mo lang yun.
Okay.
Basta bukas lang isip palagi. Yun lang.
Okay.
Sana nakatulong ako.
Okay. Nakatulong naman. Maraming tulong, ma'am. Maraming salamat po.